conscious being possesses greater survival intuition. Welcome back to part 2 of TikTok. I hope you followed or understood most of what I tried to relay in the first video. I'll carry on here. So in part 2, I can go on and on about my knowledge of ancient world civilizations, present day world affairs, corrupt political puppets, the New World Order agenda, the reality of Planet X, of cyclical cosmic energy changes, and that threaten our very existence. It is not my intention to feel negativity or fear. However, I must present the facts, because you must awaken to the truth. You must learn to manifest positive change in your life for the good of all life. Okay, the first truth: New World Order. The truth is that the Vatican and globalist elite rule the U.S. governments and NATO countries and are manifesting terrorism and ravishing hell all over the planet. They have a relentless goal of world dominance and have been strategically implementing measures to achieve it for millennia. This process has escalated in recent decades by the flexing of military might, bullying, overthrowing, and destroying anyone or any country that dares not submit to the deceptive agenda for New World Order. And that being one ruler, one law, one religion, one army, and one small society of slaves. The primary business of the globalist elite / US, NATO, is the manufacture and supply of weaponry. This is a multi-trillion-dollar business per month. The elite wine and dine and laugh while monitoring the slaves of the world killing each other as they reap huge profits from the wars they instigated. This is entertainment for the elite, similar to the Roman rulers of past times who took pleasure in watching slave gladiators battle to the death in a stadium. But now, the stadium is replaced with a monitor, and millions of slaves worldwide battle to the death for elite entertainment and profit. The elite are directly responsible for instigating and manifesting conflicts and wars between race, religion, countries throughout our world. These are premeditated divide, conquer, and control tactics. They are responsible for the slaying and displacement and suffering of millions upon millions of innocent beings in the last decade alone. They have imposed themselves onto and into countries and constructed hundreds of strategic nuclear military bases worldwide in preparation to provoke World War III and enforce their new world order. Half the world, controlling half the world's not good enough for them. They have to take over the whole world and control the whole world. You know, they want to become gods. They conceal the truth and deceive the citizens by controlling our beliefs with false propaganda, false flag events, and outright lies. They force you into fear, force you into hate, and force you to relinquish your rights and freedom. They force you into their wars, and they force you to kill innocent fellow beings for their own egotistical desires. Today's society terrorizes us into conformity. New world order. Intimidate and control. It's not the Russians or the Chinese we need to be concerned with. The real threat is their own Western puppet governments and the globalist elite's New World Order agenda. The Russians shall readily protect its nation, as shall China, Iran, and others, because they will not submit to this deceptive New World Order. The Russians speak the truth. They have been totally open and honest in all world affairs. They have proven outright that the U.S. government, and I say government, not civilians, is orchestrating and supporting major terrorist organizations worldwide. This is basically a known and proven fact now. The Russians are trying desperately to alert and warn civilization of the truth regarding the globalist elite agenda. But no one is listening. No one is awakening to the truth. Civilization is on the brink of a full-scale nuclear war and the path of imminent self-destruction. Civilians of the Western world are entrapped in a bubble of controlled false propaganda, deception, false flag events, and outright lies. We're on the threshold of nuclear destruction, and people are totally brain numb to the fact. People are preoccupied and memorized with personal desires, with materialism, gaming, sports, Hollywood, and the political soap operas. Pokemon garners more attention than a nuclear war ticking down. Wake up, people, to the real agenda at play here. I say to all law enforcement and military beings worldwide, it's a globalist elite's intent to exterminate 2/3 of the population in the name of New World Order. They declare it's easier to kill 1 billion people than to control them. They want a nuclear war. And you just have to look around and see that they're trying to provoke one desperately. However, in all truth, Mother Earth can no longer sustain our rapidly compounding population and our total disrespect for Mother Earth. We become like a cancer on the skin of Mother Earth. But no being has the right to make this decision or this choice. That is up to the Creator to settle this, not the globalist elite. Fellow beings, worldwide, are you, your family, and your friends exempt of extermination? Of course not. To the elite, you're simply disposable property, sheep, being herded into the front lines and slaughtered in egotistical wars to impose one elite ruler, one law, one religion, one army, and one small slave society. Open your minds. Awaken to the truth. Think from your hearts. Act from your heart. And make correct choices. Your families and friends and communities need you at home to prepare for inevitable, catastrophic, earthly changes forthcoming. We need to take appropriate, peaceful action. Peaceful. Before it's too late. You must vocalize your orders to all levels of government. Nuclear bombs and nuclear power plants are the single greatest threat to all life on Earth. The Fukushima meltdown is a prime example. It's an alarm bell to civilization. Demand an irrevocable and immediate halt to any increase of nuclear arsenals worldwide. Demand total disarmament and dismantling of all nuclear weapons and nuclear power plants worldwide. Demand full disclosure and transparency of all government secrecy. Demand your governments answer to and obey the will of the people and not the orders of a few sinister elite. The globalist elite have masterminded a new world order for centuries, and we are being deceived and unknowingly manifesting world war via media implanted beliefs and thoughts. Remember, collective thought manifests reality, and this is a scientific fact. Historically, many past empires and total civilizations were destroyed for identical egotistic reasons. Civilizations self-destruct from egotistic negative energy. It is the law of the Creator. This is the reality of what we are manifesting, of what we have become, and where civilization is headed. But this is not who we are. Correct your intentions. Correct your thoughts. Correct your choices. And correct civilization's path. The second truth, Nemesis and Nibiru. Since 1995, there has been a flurry in construction of massive underground survival bunkers worldwide. Why? In 2008, a global seed vault in Spitsbergen, Norway was completed. A global seed vault. Why? In 2018, Russia plans the completion of what some refer to as Noah's Ark, a DNA bank of every living and extinct creature on Earth. Why? In the past 2 decades alone, we have witnessed unprecedented military buildups worldwide. Countries have also implemented provisions for mass FEMA camps and transformed all civilian police into fully militarized forces. They are prepared to enforce martial law worldwide. Why? Is this in preparation for a nuclear war? Why would the world plan a nuclear war and give everyone 20 years to prepare? This makes no sense. Is this hype of war an elaborate distraction from the real truth? Is there something far more threatening to civilization that we're not being told? Like the ghostly Nemesis dwarf star system and one of its planets, Nibiru. Plenty of evidence exists to support this dwarf star system. Astronomers agree that of the billions of stars or suns in our universe, 78% have a companion orbiting dwarf star. Another 16% have a twin orbiting companion stars. Another 4% have triple orbiting stars. So that's a 98% probability that our sun has a companion orbiting dwarf star. 98% probability. Additionally, every star has its own planetary system with a varying number of planets and with moons. There's also ancient astrological evidence that charts a 3,600-year orbital cycle of a dwarf star system. The Sumerian clay tablets were over 6,000 years old, and they document and describe in vivid detail our old universe prior to Earth's existence. Sumerian knowledge enlightens and supersedes our present-day science and astronomy. The Sumerian 7 tablets of creation mapped our universe and solar system with increment detail and accuracy. They describe in detail the Nemesis dwarf star system, its planets, and its 3,600-year orbit cycle around our Sun. They describe in detail how one moon of a planet called Nibiru collided with a planet called Tiamat, which was then located between Mars and Jupiter. The enormous impact exploded and obliterated this moon and at least 1/3 of Tiamat into rubble, and thus forming the asteroid belt as we know it today. The remaining section of Tiamat was hurled out of its orbit, but eventually re-established a new orbit, and then the gravitational forces compressed and reformed Tiamat into a smaller new sphere known as Earth. More evidence. Earth is the only planet in our solar system that exhibits a fractured crust with separated continental plates. The Earth's crust does not have a uniform sphere like all other planets. Earth possesses an unexplained phenomenon, the Pacific Ocean's Mariana Trench, which is a 36,070-foot deep crater stretching thousands of miles. Imagine an apple as the Earth and take a bite out of it. The missing section of the apple is a good visual representative of the chunk missing from Earth's crust. Ironically, this matches the Sumerian description of Tiamat's collision with Nibiru's moon. 1/3 of Tiamat was blown off like a bullet hitting it. Earth's surface displays this evidence unequivocally. Some more evidence. Ancient scripts from every culture and every religion in the world have documented historic apocalyptic events between the heavens and the earth. They describe a winged serpent passing through the sky as devastating Earth's surface. They describe massive earthquakes and volcanoes, massive floods, tsunamis, and fireballs raining down on Earth. Their historic descriptions and future predictions coincide precisely with a cyclical event. Therefore, wouldn't rational logic conclude the dwarf star system is very real indeed? The Sumerian warned of inadvertent catastrophic events on Earth's surface during this period, caused by enormous energy exchange of the two solar systems intertwining. It is my understanding that the Nemesis dwarf star itself crosses around our solar system at a 40-degree angle to our elliptic plane, circles over our sun, and then returns back around the other side of our solar system. Nemesis' orbit remains billions of miles from our sun. Remember, Nemesis is the dwarf star. It remains millions of miles away. Or billions of miles away, I should say. But the problem exists with Nibiru and its moon. They are the outermost planetary bodies of the Nemesis system. Therefore, Nibiru's orbital path can dip into our elliptical plane and can intersect Venus, Earth, Mars orbital path, just as it did when it knocked Tiamat out, right? There are very many variables depending on the planet's orbital position and proximities during the Nemesis system crossover. For instance, should Nibiru's orbit of Nemesis be at its furthest outer distance or opposite our system, our paths would not intersect, and the effects on Earth would be minimal. However, Should Nibiru's orbit of Nemesis be at its closest position, it will dip into our elliptic plane and planets could intersect paths. The closer the proximity, the greater the gravitational forces. These forces can displace Earth's crust and flip magnetic poles. These events have transpired many times over Earth's history. Science knows this. We know this. Nibiru is described as a winged serpent because of its long tail of space debris. Should Nibiru intersect Earth's orbital path, one side of Earth would be exposed to and bombarded with meteors strikes for hours or days as we transit through this debris field. A combination of the dramatic forces and energy clashing would devastate Earth's surface as we know it. However, the good news is that the odds or probability of an encounter with Nibiru are enormously slim. This system has come and gone over 1,250,000 times since the birth of Earth 4.5 billion years ago. And we're still here. However, the bad news is that everyone is focused on the worst case scenarios. You know, fear-mongering, thus breeding, fear into society rather than developing a clear understanding of it. So, is this system a planetary ballroom dance of chance, or a collective conscience destiny? Beware of your thoughts and intentions. Understand what you manifest collectively. I believe the Nemesis system is here now. It apparently entered the outer reaches of our solar system in 2002, and in 2012 it crossed in 2012 it crossed our elliptical plane. Mother Earth has been talking to and warning us for years. World leaders will not divulge this truth in advance because it would cause worldwide social instability and a total collapse of society, panic, and mayhem. Perhaps it's for the best. Many people have already died mysteriously or disappeared attempting to disclose this truth. So rather than prolong an inevitable, governments veil the truth with propaganda of global warming or natural climate change, or distract us with propaganda. The third truth, the signs of Nibiru presence. You gotta pay attention to these. For those who don't believe in this, the Earth's magnetic pole has rapidly shifted 1,000 kilometers northeast. Why? Earthquakes and volcanoes are increasing dramatically in magnitude and frequency. Our jet streams, ocean streams, and weather streams are changing rapidly. Why? Our sun apparently has flipped poles. The planets are warming up and displaying surface anomalies. Why? Our largest planets have wobbled and slightly changed their orbital path. Why? We are being bombarded with increased solar or cosmic energy waves. Our magnetosphere is breaking down. Why? The core of our Earth is warming up and expanding. Why? The size and intensity of hurricanes, tornadoes, and storms are increasing dramatically. Why? Life on Earth is dying. Life forms are becoming extinct at an alarming rate. Why? And human conflict is at an all-time high. Why? Should do some research on the internet concerning frequency experiments. Take a piece of paper, cover with sand, set over top of a speaker, and by changing the output frequency or music, it changes the pattern of the sand instantaneously and dramatically. Earth's surface is changing in much the same way. It must synchronize to new vibrational frequencies of this incoming system and of cosmic energy changes. This is a certainty, and it's happening now. The signs are more than evident, as I just discussed. It is imperative that you connect with your inner being and create peace within. Becoming pure of heart, meaning you must learn to think with loving, altruistic intention, learn to make correct choice, and learn to manifest positive outcomes, irregardless of your circumstances or surroundings. A conscious being possesses greater survival intuition. Since approximately 1995, the elite and wealthy class have been building deep underground survival bunkers with strict completion dates of 2015. Why? 2015? They build these bunkers with taxpayer money, but plan to abandon the slaves on the surface to fend for ourselves. This selfish act will not fit well come Judgment Day. The fourth truth, the Anunnaki and Sumerian. Beings of superior intelligence. Oh, excuse me. Beings of superior intelligence have had a presence on Earth long before any human civilization. The existence of spacecraft is evidenced throughout our civilization, from 17,000-year-old cave paintings to ancient monolithic carvings, clay tablets, clay cylinders, religious scriptures, crop circles, eyewitness accounts, including photos and videos of all. It is clearly documented in the ancient Sumerian clay tablets and cylinders that the Anunnaki, the inhabitants of Nibiru, brought the first civilization to Earth. Now they explain who they are, why they came, how they colonized Earth, and genetically evolved humans. They explain how the Anunnaki always return to Earth during each Passover, like each 3,600-year cycle. Why are they here and what are their true intentions is very controversial. Should we perceive them as a threat? Why? We retrospect their children. If they meant us harm, why wait tens of thousands of years? Perhaps They're observing us evolve to determine if we are desirable or undesirable, similar to the pre-Noah's civilization. Are they attempting to communicate with the masses via crop circle messages? Symbols have the power to unlock and trigger conscious knowledge. Research it. I believe the Anunnaki have the greatest altruistic intentions for the evolution of human civilization. The Sumerians documented the beginning of the civilization on clay tablets and clay cylinders 6,000 years ago, and they clearly declare that the Anunnaki brought the first civilization to Earth. We're led to believe that our civilization is only 5,000–6,000 years old. However, archaeologists recently discovered the ancient city of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, which is confirmed to be over 12,000 years old. In France, they discovered a 17,000-year-old cave wall carving of a spaceship. Where on earth would a caveman come up with an idea of a spaceship unless he's actually seen it? Like, they also discovered an ancient city in Indonesia called Gunung Padang, I think that's right, which is estimated to be 20,000 years old. And it's now agreed that the Egyptian Sphinx could be 85,000 years old. And what about the lost city of Atlantis? How old is it? That's one of the oldest civilizations we're aware of. And so obviously civilization has stopped and restarted many times. You know, we're not the first civilization on this planet. Definitely not. The Anunnaki have been here ever since the birth of Earth, and have been recolonizing human civilization after each Earth-altering event or dimensional shift. The Sumerian clay tablets and cylinders provide solid evidence of the Nemesis dwarf star system, and this passes through our solar system every 3,600 years. Within the system are various planets. One is called Nibiru, and is home to beings called the Anunnaki. As this dwarf star and planetary system enter our solar system, our sun's magnetic force starts to pull or tug at it, causing its entry speed to increase the closer it gets. It reaches maximum orbital speed when it slingshots around our sun at the point of perihelion, or the backside of the sun. It slows down dramatically and begins a slower outward journey away from our sun. It is my understanding that it takes about 6 years from the time Nemesis and Nibiru enter and exit the elliptical plane of our solar system. Right? The time they come in and out is approximately 6 years. So dependent of the Anunnaki technology, they may be capable of traveling to Earth years prior to reaching or entering our outer solar system. Regardless, they would depart for Earth at their earliest opportunity and only return to Nibiru at a distance dictated by their space travel technology, right? And nobody knows what they have for space technology. 6,000 years ago, the Anunnaki gifted humans with a fully structured society and technology. They gave us the tools we needed and taught us how to survive and thrive. They taught us about the cosmos, of cosmic conscious energy, of self-empowerment. They appointed Anunnaki beings, kings, to govern and oversee the evolution of civilization and uphold the 7 Hermetic laws, amongst others, until their return. However, upon returning the previous time, they found genetically altered life in a hybrid race, amongst other dreadful things. We all know the purpose of Noah's flood, when civilization was cleansed and reseeded. Okay? The Anunnaki have returned again, and this time they were met with military aggression. They discovered an enslaved civilization, an abused planet, weapons of mass destruction, egotism, deception, and enslavement of beings was not the Anunnaki intention of human evolution. Ironically, in 1987, the US and UK began construction of the Star Wars missile defense system. In 1993, this laser space weapon was operational. $100 billion later, and an annual operating budget of $8 billion. Why? Why do we need space weapons? For what? Well, if this was our homecoming surprise, it did not impress the Anunnaki. There is documented military evidence that exists of spacecraft being targeted by space laser weapons and of fighter jets attempting to shoot them down. The US has apparently launched a nuclear missile at the moon, but it was intercepted and disabled by 3 laser beams fired from an unidentified spacecraft. That's right, you heard me. So, are the Anunnaki stationed on the backside of the moon, observing us? Are they a threat? Or are they observing Earth's changes, or waiting to provide assistance during the Nibiru Passover? The Anunnaki intelligence and technology is vastly superior to ours. Don't ever think they're not. They choose to prevent barbaric altercations, at least for now. Now we get into the 5th truth, correlating dates and sequence of events. Now this is interesting. You gotta pay attention to this stuff. Dr. Robert Harrington was a chief astrologer and astronomer for the United States Naval Observatory. He was highly respected as a leading authority on cosmology and astronomy. Then there's Zecharia Sitchin. He's a renowned researcher who devoted 40+ years deciphering ancient Sumerian clay tablets and clay cylinders. And there's one Sumerian cylinder, VA243, that played a key role in confirming and locating Nibiru. Research his books, Zecharia Sitchin. Anyway, in 1978, Harrington concluded that a very large unknown planet must be lurking at the outermost edge of our solar system, causing planets like Saturn, Jupiter, and Uranus to wobble and displace slightly from their orbital paths. He immediately launched and strategically located satellite probes, that was Pioneer 1 and 2 and Voyager 10 and 11, into space to search for the unknown planet. Okay, in 1981, Harrington made the New York Times headlines with his latest disclosure, theorizing the existence of a very large planet entering our solar system. In 1987, the U.S. and U.K. begin the construction of Star Wars missile defense system. Right after Harrington says he discovered this planet. Why? 1990, a couple years later, the Vatican builds and launches Hubble, the first infrared space telescope. Why? What interest would a religion have with a rogue planet? Other than confirming biblical prophecies that reference Nibiru and the Anunnaki. In 1990 to 2010, like I mentioned earlier, global defense spending around the world is ramped up sharply in the 90s, finally declining in 2010. Why? Cold War was over. 1990 to 1991, Harrington and Zarathustra exchanged knowledge for the first time and confirmed that Nibiru was the planet in question. But Sitchin insisted on searching the western edge of the Orion constellation, where it was discovered and confirmed. Yes. Harrington confirmed locating a huge planet at the outer reaches of our solar system. And utilizing the blink method, Harrington estimated its size, its incoming speed, its exact location. The planet was estimated to be 5 billion miles beyond Pluto, or 8.5 billion miles from Earth, just in the outer reaches of Pluto. And it would take approximately 25 years to reach Earth's proximity. That gives us a ETA, or estimated time of arrival, of 2016 to 2018. Right? In 1991, the Vatican debunks Harrington's findings, but ironically acknowledges the planet Nibiru. They acknowledge this planet was there, but insist that it was 50 billion miles away. I'm not even sure they could even see it, could they? Let alone tell what direction it was going at 50 billion miles away. Anyway, they insisted that it was 50 billion miles away and traveling away from our solar system, and stated that they had to douse this incoming idea with ice water ASAP and to utilize all the resources to do so. In other words, hide it. Lie to the people. Harrington's position as chief astrologer was immediately terminated. Then the governments and Vatican and whatever took action to smear the evidence and conceal the truth of the most earth-shocking news in history. These false propaganda campaigns are ongoing today. In 1991, Harrington decides to build his own telescope and observe the planet from a mountaintop in Black Birch, New Zealand. Harrington again confirms Nibiru as incoming and scheduled a full disclosure press meeting. In 1993, Harrington was mysteriously found dead with unexpected throat cancer just days prior to his highly publicized press conference, and his documents vanished. Really? Then, the Vatican builds an infrared land telescope to find and track Nibiru. Ironically, this telescope is named Lucifer. 1993, the Star Wars missile defense system was completed and active. In 1993, why do we have an active Star Wars missile system. Why? In 1995, the global elite began construction of massive underground survival bunkers worldwide, with firm completion dates of 2015. Why? (1996 to 2004), the Vatican builds the largest, most powerful binocular infrared telescope on the planet, capable of detecting the faintest glimmers of light from very distant objects, like Nemesis Dwarf Star System and its planet Nibiru. Nemesis is not bright like the sun. It's a burnt out star, basically, so it's dark. It's hard to see. You can only see it by heat trace. Apparently this infrared binocular can pick up a candle burning at 5,000 miles away. So that's how sensitive it is. Why would the Vatican spend trillions of dollars or whatever it costs to build a telescope of this magnitude if they, at the same time debunk the existence of Anunnaki and Nibiru? Ask yourself that. Anyway, in 2008 was the completion of the Global Seed Vault Bank in Spitsbergen, Norway. Why? We talked about that. December 21st, 2012. This is what the mind declared this date as the beginning of a new era or cosmic cycle. That was that whole time thing. That was a 26,000 year clock that restarts, and we're into a whole new era now, right? A new birth. 2015 is a deadline for all disaster system readiness. Why? For what? Right? Russia conducts the largest ever survival drills, as do most other countries in the world. Why? And 2018 is the Russians' target completion of the new DNA bank of every living and extinct creature on Earth. These sequence of events and dates all correlate to identifying Nibiru in 1981, with the ETA arrival time being 2016 to 2018. Still believe it's all coincidental? World leaders know what's coming, but they will not tell their people. Okay? The sixth truth, the Vatican's power and control. For over 5,000 years, the Vatican has dominated astronomy research. The Vatican Observatory VAT is the oldest astronomical research institute in the world. The Vatican has been the world's largest investor in the design and manufacture of sophisticated telescopes. The Vatican owns most all patents concerning celestial observations. The Vatican owns all ancient texts and early books concerning antiquity, astronomy, and alchemy. The Vatican owns and controls all information coming from the Royal Society of London, the Nazi German operated NASA, and the Mount Graham International Observatory in Arizona, which is also owned by the Vatican Observatory Research Group, and it houses the world's most powerful telescopes. The Vatican is also the largest investor of the Hadron Collider in Switzerland, and controls all that information. Why is a religious organization building a Hadron Collider? Like, and the most powerful telescopes. Like, what is really going on here? While people are being starved and murdered daily. Whatever. And the Vatican is also the most influential figure supporting and promoting New World Order. Think about that one. The Vatican is the richest organization in the world. Hands down. And owner of his own sovereign country. Centuries ago, the first machine book publishing era, the Vatican designed and built a huge book printing press and controlled all printed matter. They specifically wrote, censored, and printed and distributed books that implanted our beliefs and our thoughts. These books were distributed to most all universities and churches, thus infusing society with what they wanted society to believe. The practice of controlling the belief patterns of society began with the first religious translations and hand-published Bibles, deceiving and concealing the real truth of who we are. The Vatican has imprisoned our minds and thoughts. The Vatican has maintained power and control over civilization for eons. Why would anyone believe anything the Vatican, the globalist elite, or our puppet governments tell us? It is all deception, lies. Nibiru and the Anunnaki are real, a reality. The truth is detailed in Sumerians and every other culture on earth. Perhaps this legend is what's written or told when the truth is too dangerous to reveal. And something else I like to say. They like to debunk and discredit ancient texts and writings as myths or legends, stories. But just think about this. How would any sane mind conceive that an ancient civilization would painstakingly etch fiction novels into stone, an ongoing process that lasted thousands of years, and then on top of that, worship this fiction they wrote? Come on, people. These ancient texts are solid proof of their existence. What they're describing is reality, not fiction, like the religion and their governments force us to try and believe. That is so pathetic. Anyway, let's go on with this. The seventh altruistic truth. Now, this is where you really have to put all this stuff together and keep an open mind. Ancient Sumerian Anunnaki are the masters of astrology. Their knowledge of the cosmos is light years ahead of ours, and to think otherwise is ignorance. We are living in the most exciting times of this entire civilization. We're the chosen generation to experience an event that only occurs once every 26,000 or 25,920 years approximately. Earth's precession of the Aquarius, which lasts about 2160 years. That's providing we change soon, very soon. As Earth travels through the heavenly zodiacs, we spend about 2160 years in each sign. As we traverse through each sector of the cosmos, we are exposed to and influenced by different energy frequencies, vibrations, and cosmic rays. This is the grand cycle of cosmic energy exchange. Our universal frequency is changing and increasing. The Earth and all life, as we know it, is going to change with it. All life must synchronize to these new frequencies. This is how life evolves. With the procession of Aquarius and dimensional shift, whence beings will reach a heightened awareness and enlightened intelligence, awaken to correct thought manifestation, and a knowing that love energy is a controlling force of cosmic consciousness. Okay? Biblical prophecies correlate the woman in heaven, star constellation in Virgo, to the 25,920 year cosmic alignment as the birth of a new dawn. The actual event transpires September 23rd, 2017. Research the sign in Revelation 12. Ironically, the head of the Egyptian Sphinx will align exactly with the women in heaven in the sign Virgo for the first time in this roughly 26,000 years on September the 23rd, 2017. Two coincidences there now. Perhaps Nibiru's orbital path is synchronized to intersect Earth's path once every 26,000 years also, initiating the beginning of a new dawn, a new civilization. This is the grand cosmic cycle of Aquarius. Its purpose is to continually evolve and ascend altruistic beings to higher dimensions for a greater final purpose. We are beings. We are the seeds of the Creator. Beings are destined to grow, evolve into creators, to help manifest life throughout the infinitely expanding cosmos. During the Aquarius cycle, awakened beings with true altruistic intent will ascend to the next dimension of higher intelligence. Awakened beings will not reincarnate back here in this third dimension. When you pass away, if you're an awakened being, when you finally do pass away, you'll be reincarnated in the fourth dimension. Beings of egotistic, stagnant form that have not awakened, right, shall remain here in the third dimension to live out and experience the full impact of negative energy. These beings will keep reincarnating back into this third dimension regardless of surface conditions. Okay? Those who do not evolve will end up back here. If positive change on Earth cannot be collectively manifested, okay, that means if the majority of the beings on the planet cannot manifest positive energy, at least balance or overbalance this negativity, we will witness the eventual self-destruction of the civilization, triggering a dimensional shift. At which point, Judgment Day separates altruistic beings from egotistic beings. As a dimensional shift occurs, simultaneously Mother Earth cleanses herself and prepares to sow the seeds for the next Stone Age civilization to evolve once again. Within all totality of civilizations that ever existed on Earth, it is my understanding none have managed to change collectively to save civilization from self-destruction. We must unite if civilization is to carry on well into this 2160-year cycle of Aquarius. If we don't, creation will not allow a race that is dangerous, that thrives on negativity, killing of other beings, and killing of our planet. It is not acceptable. It will not be permitted to carry on. That's where this dimensional shift comes in. If we haven't learned after 26,000 years how to take care of our planet and take care of other fellow beings, then dimensional shift kicks in. It's like a restart button, and the whole civilization restarts again here on Earth from the Stone Age, and we'll get another 26,000 years to try and get it right. Okay? That's where it sits. Okay? Now, part 3 we'll have to conclude on another video, I guess. But this is how do we change? How do I change? You know, to get on the right path. Okay? So, thank you for now. We'll see you in the next video, part 3.